Yes, 13. Hey guys, what's going on? This is MetaTalks episode 13, which I just found out. For those of you watching my stream, this is where I talk about the biggest patch note changes and how it's going to affect our metagame. I'm also going to talk about common picks and bans I'm seeing at high elo. And that's it. So let's start it off with Wukong the Monkey King as our new champion for this patch. Crushing Blow, I'll just give you a little, if you guys haven't played him or want to talk about him, but I'll just go over his skills briefly. His Q is 30% armor reduction, and it increases his damage a little bit. Decoy is exactly what it says it is. It's a decoy, but he goes stealth for 1.5 seconds after he does this. It's got a reasonable cooldown, and then the decoy sits there and attacks after 1.5 seconds. Nimbus Strike is a gap closer on a targetable area. It also hits up to 3 targets around that target. It does decent damage and gives an attack speed bonus steroid. Pretty good skill. And Cyclone is his ultimate. Basically, he just spins in a big circle like Garen, but instead he knocks people up, and his movement speed is increased when in this. So basically, Garen's Damascene spin, whatever the hell it's called, Judgment, I think, but way bigger, knocks people up, and he's fast when he does it. Oh, and his passive gives him some armor and magic resistance. Overall, basically, he's a little weak for 2 reasons. His Q is bugged, 30%. It's only taking 30% of the base damage, or not base damage, base armor rather. And because of that, it's not, reducing the full amount, which kind of sucks. So if you're only taking in base armor, you're really only taking off like 20 to maybe 25, maximum 30 armor on a base champion, which really isn't a lot. It's really kind of crappy. And then the other thing that's kind of holding him back currently is his ultimate, Cyclone. The damage portion on it isn't that great. It's a little weak. So if they fix his Q, that bug fix, and it's actually doing 30%, armor reduction, it might be really good, and it might, make him more viable. And the same thing could be said with his Cyclone, his ultimate. If he gets some more damage in that, and he can actually use that in a team fight and deal some good AoE damage, then he'd be actually his laning is pretty good. So if you do this and improve his team fighting, then then he wouldn't be that bad. So Monkey King's a little weak. I'm probably putting him low tier 3, higher tier 4 probably is where I'm thinking about putting him on my tier list. And that's all I can really say about him. He's fun, he's unique, and he's just a little bugged and a little weak right now. But yeah, onto our patch note changes though. Annie, Disintegrate has her damage reduced a little bit, only by 5 at every rank, which is whoop-de-doo. And then the ability power ratio got nerfed by 0.05. Whoop-de-doo. Incinerate got nerfed by 5 damage. Whoop-de-doo. And the ability power ratio reduced by 0.05 again. Now I'm not going to do the whoop-de-doo again. So really, those nerfs are basically to the community's QQing, so they very, 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 very slightly nerfed her, and that's about it. She's 100% viable, 100% honestly, there is nothing different about Annie. Like, she's going to hit for like 10 damage less. Like nothing. Like, nothing has changed. Nothing. So Annie's exactly the same. So as patch notes, these changes are just a front. They're trying to look to say, hey, Annie's nerfed, don't play her now. Community, stop, we nerfed her, look, we nerfed her. But really, she's 100% fine. She's always been strong. Even before she got buffed, she was amazingly strong, so whatever, let's not talk about Annie, because it doesn't matter. Cassiopeia getting the miasma on her, getting persistent vision on her miasma when it's casted. I actually like this. It's like a little scout ability now. Her miasma is her W. That's the poison that starts small and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. So now that grants vision in that area. So you can actually scout with it. Before, you'd cast it and give you vision for like 0.5 seconds, so you'd be like a little mini scout. But now you can throw it down in areas like, say, you're doing Baron, and you don't not sure if the team's coming. You can throw it in between the little ledge there and the grass by the blue golem, and it will grow and grow and grow, and you can see if the enemy team's coming. and like that kind of stuff. You know, if you want to close off an area, see if anyone's coming, scout, that kind of stuff. So it's actually a pretty good change. And you wouldn't think it's that good because, oh, grants vision, but it's actually not a bad change. Good job, right? I like it. On to Corki. Corki has been nerfed. The unstoppable DPS has been nerfed. I know, crazy. His phosphorus bomb no longer blinds. Oh no. That's actually, that's a pretty big nerf, the blind, because that was actually one of the strong things when laning versus Corki is the blind, because you pop your Q on somebody, auto attack them, but guess what? They're not hitting you, and you're just trading, because Corki has so much damage already, and then he's just taking all their damage away on their auto attacks. So it's just like, oh my gosh. And I'm just gonna close this, sign out, and the blind no longer is there, so you can actually trade with Corki a little bit now. So if you get queued, you can't just be like, oh crap, and you literally have to like run away. He just like tees up on you. Now he doesn't blind you, so you can trade hits with him a little bit better. And the damage has been slightly reduced by 10 at all ranks. So that's actually a pretty decent nerf to his laning phase. Team fight, not really. That's not where his damage comes from. Damage comes from the rockets, the E, and just generally auto attacking. But this is the nerf to his laning phase, which is not bad. Gatling gun attack damage ratio has been reduced to 20% from 25. It's not a bad nerf. It's a little one. You know, it helps, but it's only 5%, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then his ultimate, but it's only the missile barrage. It says missile barrage, but only the big one. If you notice that, it's only the big one. That means every, I believe it's the 4th charge. Could be 3rd. I'm almost positive it's 4th. But that damage has only been reduced by 10. And like, if you get hit with a big one, you're gonna notice. You can get chunked. Like you get like HP just disappears. You're like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? It's because you get hit with a big one. So I really don't think that's, you know, all the missiles should have been nerfed by 10%. I think missiles just do so much damage. Like team fighting, just poking with missiles, is just so disgusting. I think missiles need to be nerfed more. These are fine, his normal abilities, but I think his ultimate is just way too strong. That's the biggest thing. That poke and that damage, the range on it, it's just disgusting. And I still feel that he's a very strong, and he still is the strongest AD carry for a team in terms of just pure damage. Alright, then we got Ezreal. Fix a bug where Mystic Shot did not interact with spells. Oh no. Actually, that's a decent change. It's a bug fix, and that actually does help with landing queue and stuff like that. But yeah, this is going to be my part 1. I'm going to do multiple parts, so I'm just going to stop the recording now. And